Oh,
Yeah, try.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we have new microphones, everybody, and the green light says the microphone is on. If there's no green light, you are muted. And Jamie, are you ready? Okay, so we're going to call this meeting to order. This is the November 1st Advertising Promotions Commission meeting. It is 4:06. We are starting a little late today. I apologize. We're just trying to get all our stuff together, get our name tags up here. We don't have a clerk for the AMP like the city clerk puts everybody's name tags up early, and so sorry about that. Try to get those up. Try to get here earlier myself and get those up next time. Would you call the roll, please, Jamie?
Danny.
Here.
Faith.
Here.
Nita.
Here.
Josh.
Here.
Jeff.
Here.
April.
Here.
Marina.
Here. All right, we do have, everybody's here, and I appreciate everybody being here today. Approval of the minutes from our October 4th meeting. We did email those out yesterday, and did anyone have any questions or any corrections to those minutes that were emailed out?
Motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
Motion by Josh and a second by Danny, if you'll call the roll on that.
Danny.
Yes.
Faith. Nita.
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes.
Josh.
Yes.
April.
Yes.
Marina.
Yes, motion to approve the minutes was unanimous. City events, you're up, Jamie.
City events are rolling along. We had a meeting yesterday concerning trail lights out on site just to make sure we know where everything is and how the flow is going to go. I'm sure most everyone has heard now that we will be implementing a ticketing system this year for the trail of lights to try to help reduce the traffic backup on 107. So we're going to give that a shot and hope that it eases some of that because we can kind of control the numbers each night. So we are going to have to do some more signage and print some more signs, but I've been working on that today, and we're going to get those rolling very, very soon. So all of the weeks are covered by volunteer groups, so we are covered with our volunteers. And rolling along, I've got with Heather on advertising, so we've got some different avenues of advertising to explore this year to really get it out since this is a new thing this year. So we're going to really, really, really push it. And rolling along with that, Christmas parade, we're up to 22 entries already, and we still got a month left, so it may be a really big parade this year.
And can you remind us of the date of that parade?
Sure, the Christmas parade is Saturday, December the 2nd at 2 o'clock, and the theme this year is Christmas through the decades. So
Christmas what?
through the decades.
Through the decades.
Yes.
So we want to invite all of our businesses out there.
Absolutely.
Especially to participate and have a float Christmas through the decades.
Yes, and if anyone wants to put an entry into the parade, you can find the entry form on the website. So it's just or I can email it to you either way. And then also the Eclipse Committee will be meeting again this Friday to iron out some more details as to what we're doing. We've discussed, we've kind of gone back and forth on do we do more than one day thing, do we not? So we just need to iron out a few more details, and I'll meet with them on Friday. So we should have some more details very soon about what all to expect from the city concerning the eclipse. Most upcoming events that we have that are happening very soon, we have our Veterans Day Appreciation event. That's on November the 9th. It's the day before Veterans Day, so we'll be doing it on the 9th. And then
And where's that going to be at?
it's at the flagpole in front of the police department. Right. Yes, there'll be a reception following at the senior center, in case anyone didn't hear that. And then we'll also have it just left me. The night of that's, of course, that's how the night of remembrance that I could not remember, because that's how it works. The night of remembrance is going to be on December the 9th. That event, we're going to have a lot of the local clergy involved and just have a night of kind of reflecting, because it's been kind of a tough year, both the tornado, losing some of the Sylvan Hills students. So just a night to kind of take a moment to reflect on the year that and moving forward and that kind of thing. So just togetherness, and that will be on December the 7th. Are we having that?
It'll be up here at City Hall. We'll be utilizing
The City Hall complex.
the new trail system and so forth.
Yes.
You will know of any musicians because there will be a variety of musicians on the trail. Where you can stop and listen to a guitarist or a flutist or violinist, what have you, along the trail. So that's where we're reaching out to the different churches, because every church has some great musicians. And then we will have counselors and clergy and so forth. We'll also be having white bags, and battery-operated tea candles and some sand where you could write down a person's name or an event or
Did we do something just similar to that?
a COVID thing.
Okay, so similar to what the COVID thing was about?
The luminaries.
The luminaries,
Yeah.
okay,
And then you actually place them anywhere you would like to.
okay. Nice, all right, very nice.
So I think that pretty well covers. Oh, and I did order the eclipse glasses.
Okay.
Yes.
And on that, I do want to thank Josh is not here today, but we did not have enough money left in our advertising budget for those glasses. So Josh agreed to let the money that would cost for those eclipse glasses to come out of his budget for this year, so that Jamie could go ahead and order those this year, so we could go ahead and get those ordered, because we need to get those ordered now. So did want to thank Josh publicly for allowing it to come out of his budget, so.
I think that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Now, back to taking notes for everybody else. Okay. Trail of Lights. Blake, you want to come on up?
Yeah, I don't have a lot to add to what Jamie said, other than the lights are just about up. They're still gonna need to go in the evening time and see if there needs to be any kind of repairs to any of the displays and whatnot. But I think the ticketing system is still a work in progress. I think we're about there, when you get the advertising out, so I think we're about there, about ready to roll.
I have a
All right.
question. I have a question. We keep saying ticketing. Isn't it more of like a reservation
Yeah, reservations.
type thing? Because they don't actually have to have a ticket, do they? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have, I'm going to
Okay.
have Heather, if you would come up, Heather, and explain all that also. And Blake, do you have anything else to say with the mechanics, or as far as the trail goes, or any?
As far as I know right now, we're all good on all the displays until I hear otherwise, so.
Okay, good. So I'll let Heather explain all that part of it.
It is a reservation system, you're correct in that it will be a reservation for a 30-minute window. We will have several windows through the night, ranging, from 6 o'clock when the trail opens to the last time being 9 o'clock, because the trail closes at 9:30, and allow that flow to get out after, the trail closes at 9:30. Essentially, people will go online, there's a link that will go live on our website on November the 13th, and it will be publicized then. They will go on the website, it is at the very top next to the government link on the header of our website. They will click on that, they will see the information about getting a reservation. Click on the picture, they will be taken to what the software provider that we're using, they are doing it free of charge, and we have no idea why or how they're doing it. But we are very grateful, because it would be very expensive. And so Cameron has been instrumental. We researched that. We came across this company. He's been instrumental in working with them. People will go online. They will say, I want to go on December the 1st from 6 to 6:30. They will click that. If there are time slots available, they will receive a QR code that they will show when they get to the front of the trail of lights at the entrance where they're being checked in. So they will get their brochure, we will scan their QR code, and they can make a donation at that time. We are making the donations at the front because we found that at the end, people were stopping, chit-chatting. Oh, hello, haven't seen you so long. Let me give you a donation. Where's my candy cane? Oh, they'll get their candy canes at the front also. And so hopefully that will push traffic out of the trail and allow it to go back in at the front. So the way it will work out is they broke it down to where we figured the max number on the busiest nights. We broke that into the 30-minute increments, and that equal to 115 cars per 30-minute increment. So 100 of those will be general admission who will enter through DJ Hudson as they normally do. 15 of those will be what we're calling fast passes. I wanted to avoid the term VIP. I don't think that comes off right. That implies that only special people in the community are able to get those. That's not the case. Anyone, when they go to buy their ticket or to reserve their spot, can actually purchase a $25 fast pass, which will enable them to go through Bear Paw and not go through the queue that is there at the sports complex parking lot. They will be zippered in by PD right there and be able to join the line there. So that is the short of it. I think that in walking it and looking at it with Officer Faircloth and some other Parks Department staff, I think it will work. I'm very encouraged by being there on site and looking at it. Just, again, the promotion of it, and as Jamie mentioned, we have some digital and print in mind within the boundaries of the budget to get that worked out. We do have 3 complimentary billboards provided by a resident that will be 2 are between Cabot and Jacksonville, and 1 is closer to Sherwood, heading towards Jacksonville. So those will run for 45 days from November the 15th through December the 30th. So that's where we're at on it, but it is free. The reservation is free. That is being stressed in all of the advertising, the signage, everything. It's just more, you need your reservation, have your QR code ready when you pull up, and then you're free to go during your 30-minute time slot. We feel like that will mitigate the traffic on 107. It will also, hopefully, I believe it will provide a much better experience for the people that are visiting the trail. So,
All right, this
Any
is a good
questions?
time for everybody up here because I know that I had a big meeting with everybody. And I know a lot of y'all were not privy to that same meeting. So I would like at this time for those up here who have questions, and I know Jeff and Danny met with Captain Hager. I would like anyone else who has questions at this time to please feel free to ask those questions.
What did we come up with on a price for the
the
Fast Pass?
passes are going to be $25 a vehicle. I think that's fair. It really will cut out, and I mean, honestly, the line should be much more manageable anyway. Hopefully, nobody has a terrible 3-hour wait, 2-hour wait. So, but, church groups, people coming from out of town, they want to make sure they get in and out and on to the next light display in Central Arkansas can take advantage of that. Anything else?
I like the Fast Pass name instead of the
Yes,
VIP
sir.
name as
Yes,
well.
sir.
That's,
Yep.
makes it
I
much,
hope, Disney may come after me, but.
yeah.
I don't have anything.
I hadn't
That's all.
spoke with Danny, but after my meeting with the chief, I was impressed with the idea of what's.
Yes, sir.
I think it's going to work, and you are pretty good about feeling that it's going to be set and working.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And if there is a glitch, they said they've got a way to fix that.
Exactly,
So-
and again, I mean, this doesn't have to be set in stone. If something happens and it is a total wreck, we can go back to the old way. It's just, I think that it will provide the opportunity for, as we all know, Chief likes to cite people coming from El Dorado, and then, they don't have a spot, or they, get turned away because.
They drove
the
all the
traffic.
way up here
From
and
El
then
Dorado.
they just get turned away. So,
Exactly.
and the
So we're
reason-
hoping to eliminate
yeah.
that problem.
And the reason why I asked that Danny and Jeff meet with the chief is because they were the two that reached out to me with objections. And their objections were that they didn't feel like we should do it this year, that we should wait a year. And the chief really pushed to do it this year because he felt like his officers were in jeopardy. It felt like it was a public safety issue.
Sure.
And with the traffic backed up on Highway 107. So they're the two
Sure.
that reached out to me with objections due to that they didn't feel the timing was right this year. So I said, please, you know, if you listen to what I heard in my meeting, then I think you would feel differently. And so I said, would you mind meeting with the chief? And but they both agreed to meet with the chief. And so that's why.
Sure. I can assure y'all that logistically, the team of police officers and city staff that are working on this have gone through, played out every scenario. Cameron Snyder is very brilliant about making sure the technology is working. Officer Faircloth and Sergeant Harris have been boots on the ground. I mean, driving through it, you know, time after time to time things out and to calculate how much time per car and then calculate how many cars per night and so on and so forth. So in walking it myself, I mean, I will be the first one to say I was skeptical and thought, oof, I don't know, in timing of getting the word out and everything. But I feel really assured on being there with the people that are handling the logistics of it, that it can work, and that if, you know, when it comes off without a hitch, hopefully that
Are you sure that's
it will
wood?
be.
Are you sure that's
It
wood?
will probably not. This is a municipal podium here. That
It's not a state of Arkansas podium.
it will be very good for the visitors and patrons of the trail. So,
How are we going to
yes.
get the news out to those, say,
Well,
down south, up
we
north
are-
that will come in?
I was visiting with Ronnie beforehand, and trying to get the word out to chambers across the state will be instrumental in that. We will be running an ad in the Democrat Gazette. You know, print is kind of a thing, not something you, as I've told y'all time before, because of, you know, I like the shelf life of something. But print will be important with this, and probably doing an ad in the Democrat Gazette the weekend before Thanksgiving, because that's whenever, the Sunday before, because that's when people look for their Black Friday things and everything. And they're pushing everything out for Black Friday on that Sunday only. They're not doing anything else and
Have you
visiting with
reached
them,
out to
so.
the local TV stations? Like,
Yes, sir, and that's another thing that's possibly in the work. I don't want to jinx it, but today's THV, wants to come on opening night and do their weather broadcast from there on opening night, and I have reached out to some of the morning shows to see if we could get airtime. And not sure if, you know, they'll want me in particular to be there, but they assured me that they will help in every way they can to get the news out. So, yeah, and other things, digital plans on Facebook and possibly through the Democrat Gazette, and some advertising with the Jacksonville Leader, so.
And also Google, Cameron's gonna, work so that like if you search, you know, Trail of Lights.
Yes.
It will immediately
Yes,
pop up.
yep, getting those algorithms right and analytics will be important too. So if you have any questions, y'all reach out to me.
Well,
I'm at
I
City
want
Hall.
to just make
Yes, sir.
sure that, I knew this was something that needed to be done. I was just, and it wasn't so much an objection as it was
Right,
a
it's the
concern.
timing. It was the
It's a
time.
concern.
It was all
Yes.
about the timing.
Yeah, it was a
it.
concern.
I
I
get
know
it.
it's something we need to do
I
and
get it.
everything, so.
I get it.
you know,
I totally
so-
understand. And like I said, I'm right there with you,
No.
you know, on that, and considering that I'm the one that's handling that. But I feel good about it at this point, and I think that we'll be able to reach a lot of people through the avenues that
I
we're
haven't added
researching.
it up, but as a city and as a commission and taxpayer money that has been put into this, there's
Yes, sir.
millions of dollars that's been
Sure.
put into building this.
Yes, sir.
This Trail of Lights.
Yes,
And
sir.
so I don't want to just throw a wrench into all the
Right.
gears and
Absolutely.
destroy it all.
Yeah, but you know, there's a point where you have to evolve, you know?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
I
you know,
agree.
Disney World might
I
have started
agree.
out with turnstiles and things like that, and then now you walk up and you put your thumbprint, and then you're in, you know? So
Yeah.
technology, we had to incorporate some technology to make it
No,
user-friendly
I agree.
still.
The time has
So,
come. It's
Yes, sir.
just-
So I
absolutely.
think we're in good shape. Y'all reach out if you have
All
any
right,
questions.
Thank you, Heather. All right, now that we've beat that one, projects update, Blake.
The only thing to update is on Green's parking lot, we are still waiting on a few things on the punch list. We are waiting on handrails, and we are gonna do guardrails. So, waiting on those things to come in. We connected, the city, the Parks Department, we connected the cart path to, one of the sidewalks that was there so carts can get off and get into the parking lot, go pick up their, their bags and whatnot. So there wasn't really a way within the design to get it there, so we've already upgraded that. I know that was a big deal for a while, and it also allows our maintenance staff to go that way, to perform the duties that they have. So that's already in place. We finished that, I believe, Friday. So it's there, and we're excited about that. That's connected, and we can kind of move past that little hiccup. But just waiting on some punch list things to done. I think there's some lighting that was disconnected that we're waiting on them to figure out how to reconnect.
Okay.
But it's just
At
punch
one
list stuff.
time, I think last meeting, didn't you say there's like 10 punch list items? Is that what it was?
It was 27 at one time. So we're down
27.
to about 3.
Okay. I think I was sent, and it may have been from the mayor, an FOI that a lady had sent. She was wanting, that was forwarded maybe to half. She was wanting signs, exit and entrance signs
Those are en route.
in and out of the parking lot. Was that from you, the mayor?
Yeah, so, and just to make everybody clear, the entrances and exits were never unsafe. They were always wide enough so that if somebody did accidentally enter or exit, it could handle multiple vehicles. So that was one thing that was put out in the public, and all the arrows and everything were already there. But I said, let's go ahead and put some additional signage just to make it that much clearer. So
Those will be going up soon.
that has been done.
But the intended purpose was for it to be one way in and one way out always, right, always. All right, the second question I have is, at one time, you and I, and maybe Sean, talked about was putting a few just handicap parking signs. They didn't have to be, striped handicap spaces, just for someone who was elderly maybe that could park down at the other end, maybe to go into the restaurant space to go eat. Do you remember that conversation? Maybe just senior parking, I don't know, just for people that want to just go to the restaurant in the evening.
Those front two on the, yeah, I'm with you. We can convert those.
Okay,
We can get those converted, no problem.
could you convert maybe?
If we want to go ahead and, we can get those. We'll have them by next meeting.
Okay, all right, thank you. Down at the end, just so that there's some spaces, so at the other end of the parking lot, so if you're looking straight at the building.
Yeah, we couldn't really mark them ADA because of the ADA requirements in terms of width, but we could do, if you want us to put like senior citizen parking.
You could do that. I mean, we do that at my church, just so people,
I don't want us to get in trouble for saying that something is
right.
handicap accessible if it's not the full.
I totally agree. Just senior parking or something like that, just so,
We'll get something up with the intent for individuals to park correctly.
yeah, just so that's.
Do you want to say old people?
How about blue hair parking? I don't know. Yeah. Silver hair. Yeah. 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 All right. Under old business, updated history book. As I said last meeting, we do have a lady in our city, Dr. Linda Remley, who is working on this, and I've not talked to her since last meeting, which means that she doesn't have anything new to report, but she is working on this, so we will just leave this as a placeholder. So the next thing we have is the updated budget. I'm going to pass this around. This is our ending this is the end of September, our balance sheet, so you'll know what the balance is in our account, in case you need to know what our revenues are, what revenues we have available. I need to go back and read one of it. My sheet's in my bag, so I can carry all the way up here, I forgot the rest of my sheets, all my paraphernalias. Okay, so I did send out this budget last week to everybody, just so everybody could kind of be looking over it to see if there was anything that they wanted to add or had any questions on, any concerns. I did from the meeting before, I did increase the amount of restaurant tax that we discussed, and this is based on what Josh had said at the last meeting. We are expected for Zaxby's to reopen in January. We are expected for the Holiday Inn to open. We are expected for Scooter's Coffee to open. The Holiday Inn's going to be huge, so that alone, even at Zaxby's and the Scooters don't happen, the Holiday Inn's almost open. They're waiting on a few items right now, so that's huge. So I did up the amount of the expected restaurant tax, and as we know, a budget is just a working paper, and this can change anyway, so I did update that from last month to this month, what I expected. So that is 1.38 million. Interest earned is $8,000, and contributions of light is $65,000. That is our expected income of $1,453,000. Then and last month, I had in there $8,000 from Sherwood Fest and $1,000 from 4th of July. I took both of those out. And last month, when I had the preliminary budget, the amount was $1,342,000. So that has increased from the last budget. Is there any questions under the anticipated income? Okay, under anticipated expenses, economic development, $45,000, that did not change from last month. Contingency, $1,500, that did not change. Parks and Rec contribution, that didn't change, that hasn't changed in probably, how many years, Danny?
It's been a long time.
Long time, okay. Advertising, I did up that from $50,000 to $60,000 from last month. 4th of July celebration, I kept that the same, $10,000. That is to use, that's for us to sponsor the fireworks. Sherwood events, I upped that $1,000. I changed it from Sherwood Fest expense to Sherwood events. And instead of Sherwood Fest, I just changed it to Sherwood events and upped it from $34,000 to $35,000. And that is, and then what I put on there on the explanation line is this will be used for various events that will be okayed through AMP. So if there are events in the city that want money from AMP, they'll just have to come to AMP to ask for the money, and then we'll be sponsors for those events. Parks and Rec expense allowance, that's for the city calendar and the Christmas parade, and so usually it's about half and half. It's usually about $3,500, somewhere in that neighborhood. Office expense, $1,500. Trail of Lights, I upped that from $65,000 to $70,000 for next year. I'm going to skip over maintenance and go to that last. Skip over capital items, bond payment. I just went to 340 just to make sure that covered all that. That's the bond payment on our bond. All right, capital items. I went from 37,000 to 55,000. That's going to be for our. It's going to be for the item we buy for the Trail of Lights for next year. So we can buy better things since they're taking things down. We can buy something bigger and better. So look out for that for next year. That went from 37,000 to 55,000. All right, now maintenance, I put down 450,000. I put a bunch of question marks. We had talked about the baseball fields, and there's a lot of uncertainty right now with the school district, and the mayor asked that we hold off on this for right now. If you look on the statement of revenues and expenditures, and if you look on the front page, we have a balance of a little over 1.6 million in our reserves. So we can always come back and take money out of our reserves later if we decide to do something. Obviously, we're not going to spend all of our money. We need it for other stuff later down the line. We don't want to be totally broke, but if something comes up and we decide to do those fields, we can always come back. So there's $450,000 here. Danny, I know, has asked and asked and asked about restrooms at the soccer fields. And these are at the old soccer fields. Now, Blake handed us a piece of paper earlier, and it's lost in all my stuff. But anyway, Blake, you want to come on up and explain this piece of paper that I'm going to try to find somewhere?
Yeah, with the $450,000 allotment, we've kind of looked at some of the projects we're looking to do. We wanted to do multiple projects, so with the soccer restroom being something we really wanted to do, that is, putting a restroom similar to the one we're building out here in front of City Hall, over there on the complex where there's one restroom by the concession stand that they have over there. Where we've landed is the two that we've done have been, 82 or 83,000 that we've built so far, and it just depends on how far we got to run, some plumbing and things of that nature with the price, but we think we got that locked down. The pickleball at City Hall right over here in this parking lot right here, we're looking to do 2 pickleball courts running north and south. We have a great need for pickleball. Ever since we started building the courts, we've gotten a lot of calls about asking for more pickleball courts. Where can we play? We've got Henson that has 8. We've got Indian Head that has 2. They're full off, and what we're trying to do on this one is it can be open just about 24/7. Got police, right here. We'll have lighting up that we'll put in and things of that nature. So we're asking for those. And the repaving the walking area at baseball. On the baseball side, if you go up there, it is a paved section. It's just a big paved area. It is breaking, it's cracking. We've had to saw cut quite a few things to fix leaks, and it's really, really in bad shape. So, and we've got a budgetary number that was presented to us to fix that for $99,000. With how things are, by the time we get a chance to do it, that number could change, but that's where we're at with that. And then the tunnel at City Hall lights. As we try to rechange the City Hall we got out here, we're looking to do a tunnel of lights, and we think that we can build that ourselves rather than ordering through a company. And we think our maintenance staff can do that, and that's the price we put on that. Some of these numbers could come in lower, but these are the ones that we would like to ask for. So,
What's the tunnel of lights? What is that?
well,
Or
we're
where is it?
gonna put lights.
There'll be like an archway of lights. I don't know if you've ever seen them like in any other cities.
Yeah,
But
the-
basically, you can walk through the archway and it'll be completely surrounded, with a
On the sidewalks?
Right.
Okay. I thought maybe just connecting the two buildings or something.
No, it's, yeah, it's
Okay,
out along
that's
the
what I was just curious
It's
as far
another
as where they
addition
were
to the trail
going.
we're doing up
Yeah. Yeah.
Just, as we're trying to, because we will have up here this year, lit snowflakes around the pond area, for the winter season, as well as, we'll have the nativity up here, we'll have the, 30-foot strings of lights hanging from the trees and so forth. So what we're trying to do is create another amenity. So say you go through the trail of lights, and then you could come and walk around here. You can try to get food trucks up here and those type of things. So, slowly kind of adding even more will just be the Christmas city.
Gotcha.
Only thing I see that's not on here that I was curious about that had been mentioned is the updating of the concession stand.
It's gonna be in the parks budget,
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure on that.
yeah.
I have a
For
question.
baseball and softball, we got those both in the park side, so we're trying to,
I have a question about the pickleball courts. Have you thought about putting them across the street over there in that vacant lot by Oak Brook?
We were gonna turn that into a dog park, and you don't wanna put the pickleball court, so the way that we're able to make them 24 hours is because it wouldn't be close to homes over here. There's enough of a distance so that the lights,
Okay.
so like at Winston Park right now, that's the problem, is
I know, I have seen some complaints about Indian Head, about the pickleball, so, okay.
and people were literally, because so young people, a lot of them are working retail or restaurant, and they're not getting off in time, to get to the courts before, they can barely play before it closes. So this way, these can be on at any time, and that way, the lights aren't bothering anybody, the noise isn't gonna bother anybody, and we've got cameras all over the campus, and you've got police coming in and out all night, so it would be very safe. And the restrooms will be right there too. So we were thinking dog park across the street, because people bring their dogs here all the time anyway to walk.
Okay. Okay, so that's what we would put in there. That would be the placeholder in the $450,000 in the building maintenance fund, so. Okay, so this is the budget as presented. We do not meet in November, December. We meet, this is November, excuse me, duh. This is the 1st of November. It makes it seem like we do not meet in December because we never have met in December, as long as I've been on here. What about you, Danny? Ever. And Nita and Danny and I are the 3 longest serving, so that being said,
Marina, I'd like to motion to approve the budget we discussed today as submitted.
okay. We have a
Second.
motion by Josh and a second by Nita, if you want to call the roll.
Danny,
Yes.
Faith, Nita,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
April, Marina.
Yes. All right, I will turn this in to the city clerk, and that will be going before the city council before approval. Thank y'all very much. Thank you, Josh, for making that motion. Okay, only other new, or old business is we did have the air show last weekend, and we do have our little poster up there where we were the presenting sponsor for the Friday night event, and it went very well and very well received that we were the presenting sponsor, so thank y'all very much for approving that. New business, Ronnie, did you bring Damien as your backup? Somehow, I don't know why you're scared, because you've got this bubbly personality. and
Because
you
I
can't.
am. You intimidate me, Marina.
Oh,
Hi, everyone. Thank you for letting me come and speak to you. I appreciate it.
For those-
and Faith,
for
thanks
the-
for the cake. I went and picked it up today. I appreciate
and you know
that.
I never win, and I don't know why.
So-
Ronnie,
yeah.
introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm Ronnie, or Veronica Vega, from the Sherwood Chamber of Commerce, and this is Damien from Sherwood Florist and Blooming Thing, and he's also on my board. Say hi.
Hi.
So I'm here today to talk about the 2024 City Guide, and in hopes that you guys will help sponsor it again for next year and help with the printing costs. Last year, you guys did help us with paying for 4,000 copies. I don't feel that we need 4,000 copies this next year. We did a great digital impression. We have about 10,000 digital impressions this year so far, and it's pretty good. So I think 3,000 copies is more than efficient. So I went to TC Print, I'm sorry, and got an amount. If you still wanted to continue with the tear out copy that you guys approved of last year with the restaurant guide, the price for it for 3,130 copies would be $17,607.74. That's including taxes, because I know we didn't do that last year.
We didn't do what last year?
The taxes, include the taxes and the cost last year. We just did a quote on it. So I asked for the price including taxes this year.
Okay. So,
Last year, I got that. So last year you guys did $17,633.90. That's what AMP approved and paid.
so we paid more
That was
last
before
year
tax.
because we also did more copies last year.
Yes, we did the 4,000 last year.
We did 4,000.
But if you decided that we didn't want to do the tear out guide, the tear out restaurant guide, it's $6,622.64.
What?
16,622.
I thought you said 6.
I want to raise.
I thought you said
6,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
sold. My bad, 16.
So basically, there's only about $1,000, about $1,000 difference without the tear out guide, so it really doesn't make much sense.
Yes, ma'am. And as you know, it does promote the city. We put in all the parks and we put all the, the hotels and the businesses as well, as we do represent that quality of life in the city.
Okay, so does anyone have any questions of our chamber director?
Is this the one we went in half, or we paid for the whole thing? What am I confused now with Marina that?
You guys did pay for the printing.
We paid for the printing,
Okay.
and it's, the whole chamber
Project is,
is way more than that, yes. We-
Yeah, we pay for the publication, for the postage, for the listing of it.
so the overall project's
Yes, the overall
$34,000 to $40,000 when it's total, okay.
Correct.
This is gonna come out of our
Advertising.
60
Yes,
60,000?
so that's one reason why I did up the advertising, because, and I do have in here, I specifically mentioned Sherwood Chamber, just because I know that last year we did do the chamber guide and we did do the golf tournament, and I'm sure Mr. Cobb will be before us again this year with the golf tournament, and he's shaking his head already.
Yes, he's a great partner.
So those are the typical ones. I know we won't, we don't have the same, we'll have ads this year. Heather will be before us again with ads. So we'll have ads, and there'll be other things before us, so.
25% is a big increase, right? I mean, they basically had a 25% increase,
That's what it seems, yes. Cost of paper, that's what I mean, everything is going up.
but they had a big increase last year,
Yeah.
remember? So it is what it is, I guess.
But, so how many boxes do you have left?
Right now, I have not 1,000 boxes, I have 1,000 magazines left. And the good thing about next year, I have made friends with the Arkansas Tourism Department, and they told me that I can send as many magazines as I want to their visiting centers all across the state. So I'm really excited about that, to have these magazines all across the state for people to pick up and see Sherwood.
Okay.
So the total was how much, 17,000?
17, with the tarot guide, $17,607.74.
Okay. So we need a motion to spend that, if we want to sponsor that. Is
That would be correct.
I move that we allocate $17,607.74 for the 3,000 copies.
With the tear,
With the tear out, I'm sorry.
with the tear out.
With the tarot.
Second.
We have a motion by April and a second by Jeff for the, participate with the chamber in the next year's chamber guide. If you'll call the roll, please.
Danny,
Yes.
Faith, Nita,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
April,
Yes.
Marina.
Yes, passes unanimously. All right, we're down to announcements.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone have any announcements? Okay. This is the last meeting of the year for the Sherwood Advertising or Promotions Commission. Thank you all for coming. It is time to move on to our financials, so I will see everybody next year. ready. All right, we did go over the financials. And we are ready to go back on. Back in session. I'm just notifying our IT department, so they will turn our microphones back on. We did go over our financials, and there were 2 establishments that were 3 months or more delinquent. Do we have a motion to send out notices on those 2?
I'll make a motion that we send the termination notices to those 2 establishments.
Second.
We have a motion by Danny. Was there a second by April? Yes. If you call the roll, please.
Danny,
Yes.
Faith, Nita,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
April,
Yes.
Marina.
Yes. All right, is there anything else to come before the commission? All right, well, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. See you in 2024. Thank you very much for all you do. Appreciate your time and service. And I hope you guys can go enjoy the Trail of Lights. All right. I think they will, it's the opening, because we didn't even talk about that.
I was going to say, when's the opening?
The opening is December the 1st at 5:30. That will be our opening night.
December 1st at 5:30.
Yes.
So,
And it'll run December 1st through the 30th this year. So we're just doing the month of December, 1st through the 30th.
except for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we don't need people out there on New Year's Eve. People get crazy on New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
so
they do.
The 1st through the 30th.
All right, so we will see you back here in January. Thank you for your service. Bye-bye. Someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, thanks.